When I first started my fitness journey in my early 30s, I was convinced that spending hours on the treadmill would magically melt away the stubborn fat around my waist. Because I'd read countless articles and watched endless videos from fitness gurus promising that if I just worked hard enough, I'd see great results very quickly. But no matter how much I sweated, the scale barely budged. And those love handles? Still there, mocking me every time I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Now there is a bright light at the end of this story. A solution that will literally turn your life around and your health, because you'll finally know how to lose all the inches from your midsection and burn all the fat you want. No guesswork whatsoever, and this works for everyone. So watch this video all the way through in order to get the full benefit from what I'm about to share with you. So getting back to how I discovered what I'm calling a miracle solution that no one talks about. It wasn't until I dug deeper into the science behind exercise and nutrition that I realized something shocking. Most of us have been doing it wrong all along. What if I told you that exercise doesn't burn fat directly? Instead, your body primarily uses carbs, those recently consumed glucose molecules floating around in your bloodstream, for energy during workouts. That's right, unless you're strategic about when and how you exercise, you might never tap into that stored fat you've been trying so desperately to lose. Let me take you back to a moment that changed everything for me. One day, after yet another frustrating workout session where I felt like I'd given it my all but saw zero progress, I stumbled across some research explaining how our bodies actually use fuel. It hit me like a ton of bricks. All this time, I had been focusing on burning calories without understanding what kind of calories I was burning. See, when we eat carbohydrates, whether it's a slice of toast at breakfast or a granola bar before hitting the gym, our bodies convert them into glucose, which gets stored as glycogen in our muscles and liver. When we exercise, our bodies prioritize using this readily available energy source over digging into fat reserves. This means that unless you deplete these glycogen stores, your body won't even think about tapping into its fat storage. And here's the kicker. Many weight loss experts fail to mention this crucial detail because it complicates their messaging. They make it seem like simply working out harder will automatically lead to fat loss. But that's not the full picture. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying cardio and strength training aren't important. In fact, they're absolutely essential for overall health and building lean muscle. But if your goal is to shed excess fat, then you need to understand how to work smarter, not harder. Think about it this way. Imagine your body as a car. Carbs are like the gas in your tank, the immediate fuel source that powers your engine. Fat, on the other hand, is more like the reserve tank tucked away under the hood. If you keep refilling the main tank by eating carbs before it's empty, you'll never dip into that reserve. So how do we flip the switch and force our bodies to start burning fat? The answer lies in timing and strategy. Here's what I learned, and trust me, once I implemented these changes, the difference was incredible. First, let's talk about timing your workouts strategically. If you're someone who eats a carb-heavy meal earlier in the day, try scheduling your workout shortly afterward. Why? Because that's when your blood sugar levels are higher, meaning your body has plenty of glucose to burn during exercise. By doing this, you're essentially telling your body, hey, use up all this energy now so we can move on to plan B later. For example, I used to save my workouts for late evenings, thinking it would help me wind down before bed. But guess what? By that point, my glycogen stores were already depleted from daily activities, and my evening snacks were replenishing them faster than I could burn them off. Once I shifted my routine to mid-morning workouts following breakfast, I noticed a significant improvement in both my energy levels and my ability to lose inches off my waistline. Another critical piece of the puzzle is managing your post-workout nutrition. Here's where things get interesting, and maybe a little controversial. After years of hearing that you must refuel with carbs and protein immediately after exercising, I discovered that this advice isn't universally true. While replenishing glycogen stores is important for athletes or people engaging in intense, prolonged activity, most of us don't fall into that category. For the average person looking to lose weight, avoiding carbs after a workout can actually accelerate fat burning. Why? Because when you skip the post-workout carb reload, your body remains in a state where it needs to find alternative sources of energy. Enter stored fat. Of course, this doesn't mean you should starve yourself or neglect proper recovery altogether. Protein is still key for repairing muscles, but by cutting out the extra carbs, you're giving your body permission to dig into those stubborn fat reserves instead. At this point, you might be wondering, okay, but what happens after my workout? Am I really supposed to sit around waiting for my body to burn fat? Not exactly. Here's the beautiful part. The magic continues long after you've left the gym. You see, once you've depleted your glycogen stores through exercise, your body enters a state where it becomes more efficient at using fat for energy. Even during low-intensity activities like walking, cooking dinner, or folding laundry. And here's the best part. It continues to burn fat while you sleep. Yes, you heard that right. Sleep is one of the most underrated tools in your fat-burning arsenal. During deep rest, your body naturally shifts into repair mode, utilizing whatever energy sources are available. If you've already burned through your glycogen stores, guess what it turns to next? That's right, stored fat. So not only does proper exercise timing help you burn carbs efficiently, but it also sets the stage for passive fat burning throughout the night. But wait, there's more. Let's address the elephant in the room. All those fitness influencers and self-proclaimed gurus out there making bold claims about quick fixes and miracle diets. As someone who fell victim to their promises more times than I care to admit, I know firsthand how easy it is to get sucked into the hype. They often oversimplify the process, reducing weight loss to a simple equation of calories in, calories out, without considering the nuances of metabolism, hormone regulation, and nutrient timing. Don't get me wrong, some of these experts genuinely mean well, but the problem arises when they present incomplete information as gospel. Take intermittent fasting, for instance. It works wonders for some people, but it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Similarly, high-intensity interval training, HIIT, may torch calories in the short term, but if you're constantly refueling with sugary drinks or carb-heavy meals afterward, you're undoing all your hard work. My advice? Be skeptical of anyone claiming to have a universal fix. Instead, focus on understanding your unique needs and tailoring your approach accordingly. Speaking of approaches, let me share a personal story that illustrates just how powerful this strategy can be. A few months ago, I decided to put everything I'd learned into practice. I committed to working out 3 times a week, always within an hour or two of eating a balanced meal rich in complex carbs, lean protein, and healthy fats. After each session, I skipped the usual post-workout smoothie or snack and opted for a protein shake instead. At first, I worried I'd feel sluggish or deprived, but the opposite happened. I had more energy than ever, and within weeks, I started noticing subtle changes in my physique. My clothes fit better, my stomach felt flatter, and those pesky love handles slowly but surely began shrinking away. Even better, I wasn't obsessing over every calorie or depriving myself of the foods I loved. Instead, I was learning how to work with my body rather than against it. Of course, consistency is key. Like anything worth achieving, sustainable fat loss requires patience and dedication. There were days when I wanted to throw in the towel, especially when progress seemed slow. But I reminded myself why I started this journey in the first place, not just to look good, but to feel strong, confident, and capable. And honestly, that mindset shift made all the difference. Instead of viewing exercise as punishment or a chore, I began to see it as an opportunity to honor my body and invest in my future self. Whether it was a brisk walk around the neighborhood, a dance class with friends, or a sweaty HIIT session in my living room, I found joy in moving my body and celebrating small victories along the way. Let me take a minute to say thanks for watching the video to this point. If you're getting value, be sure to like the video, but also, I want to let you know that there is a way to get the same weight loss benefits of HIIT or high-intensity interval training without actually having to do the intense exercising. It's a bonus I share with you in our Mythbuster guide that you can get for free. If you want a copy, the link is in the description below, so grab a copy before you go today. All that said, if there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's that knowledge truly is power. Understanding how your body processes food and utilizes energy can transform your relationship with fitness and nutrition. It's not about perfection. It's about making informed choices that align with your goals. So here's my challenge to you. Experiment with timing your workouts strategically. Pay attention to how different foods affect your energy levels and listen to your body's cues. Trust me, once you crack the code, you'll wonder how you ever lived any other way. I want to hear from you. What's the biggest obstacle you've faced in your fitness journey? Is it figuring out meal timing, staying consistent with workouts, or something else entirely? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and cheer you on. And if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing. I'm passionate about sharing practical tips and strategies to help women like us thrive in our 30s and beyond. and I promise to keep delivering content that empowers and inspires. To continue this conversation, my next video should be on the screen. Click on it now and I'll see you there.